Welcome to the overview video for UFC Fight Night London, Edwards vs Brady, where we will find out which fighters are picked the most by the UFC Prediction Channels for all 13 fights on this card, and also what the current average odds are and what the Tapology Community predicts. The first fight is in the lightweight division between Guram Kutateladze and Kauê Fernandes. With minus 445 in average odds, Guram is the big favorite and Kauê the underdog with plus 330. In picks by the Tapology Community, Guram is the big favorite with 91%, making him the biggest favorite on this card in picks by the Tapology Community. And most are predicting he will win this fight via decision. And we see the same result in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 68 out of 75 channels pick Guram to win this fight for 91%. And only 7 channels have picked Fernandes. And the same with the best predictors over the last 9 months. 11 out of 12 pick Guram. The best predictors over the last 9 months are highlighted in green. Dark green meaning a return on investment of 9% or higher, and the ones in light green lower than 9%. The predictors with the best results for picking favorites over the last 9 months have chosen Guram Kutateladze, the favorite, 8 out of 10. Meanwhile, the top predictors for underdogs have only picked Kauê Fernandes once out of 9, showing little confidence in this underdog. For a full breakdown, including the best overall predictors and the top predictors for favorites and underdogs, check out the 9 months results video. You can find the link in the description or at the end of this video. The second fight is in the bantamweight division between Loughran and Nathan Fletcher. And this is basically a pick'em fight, with Nathan Fletcher being a tiny favorite with minus 118 and Loughran the small underdog with minus 104. Although this fight is super close in odds, it's not close at all in picks by the Tapology Community. Fletcher is the big favorite with 82% of the picks for him, and most are predicting that he will win via decision. Fletcher is also the favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, but here he's less of a favorite with 56 out of 76 channels picking him to win for 74%. Of the best predictors overall, he's picked 9 out of 13 times and 8 out of 10 by the best favorite predictors. The underdog Caolán Loughran is picked 3 out of 11 times by the best underdog predictors. The next fight is in the women's strawweight division between Shauna Bannon and Puja Tomar. With minus 175 in average odds, Bannon is the favorite and Tomar the underdog with plus 140. 73% of the Tapology Community predict that Bannon wins and 27% have picked Tomar, but almost all of them predict that this fight will end in a decision. Bannon is less of a favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 46 out of 75 pick her to win for 61%. And when we look at the best predictors over the last 9 months, it's a very close one. 7 out of 13 pick Bannon and 6 out of 13 pick Tomar to win. What about the best favorite predictors? They picked Bannon, the favorite, only 3 out of 10 times, which is quite interesting I think. And the underdog, Tomar, is picked 6 out of 11 times by the best underdog predictors. So for now, most of them like this underdog. The next one is in the middleweight division between Andrey Pulyaev and Christian Leroy Duncan. And Christian Leroy Duncan is the biggest favorite of this card with minus 600 in average odds. And Andrey the big underdog with plus 435. 81% of the Tapology Community are predicting that Duncan wins this fight, and most of them think he will win via KO or TKO. But he's even a bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 70 out of 76 or 92% have picked him to win. And the same with the best predictors and the best favorite predictors with 12 out of 13 and 9 out of 10. And do the best underdog predictors have some faith in Andrey? Well, not really. He's picked 2 out of 10 times by the best underdog predictors. Then we go to the heavyweight division for a fight between Marcin Tybura and Mick Parkin. And here we have another fight that's pretty close in odds, making it a pick'em fight. Mick Parkin is the small favorite with minus 121 and Marcin Tybura the underdog with plus 102. Almost 2/3 of the Tapology Community pick Parkin to win for 65% and 35% pick Tybura. And most are predicting this fight will end in a decision. In picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, it's much closer and more in line with the odds makers. Mick Parkin is the small favorite with 41 out of 77 channels predicting him to win for 53% and 36 channels have picked Tybura. However, most of the best predictors are picking Parkin to win with 9 out of 13. And 6 out of 10 of the best favorite predictors pick Parkin, the favorite, to win. The best underdog predictors are picking Marcin Tybura, the underdog, 4 out of 11. If you enjoy the content and find it helpful or informative, then don't forget to like this video or subscribe. Thank you so much. Up next is a fight in the flyweight division between Loughran Kavanagh and Felipe dos Santos. With minus 310 in average odds, Loughran is the favorite and the underdog Felipe dos Santos with plus 240. Kavanagh is a big favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 87%, and most of them predict he will win via decision. And we see the same results in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 66 out of 78 channels pick him to win for 85%. And in picks by the best predictors and the best favorite predictors, he's picked 10 out of 13 and 7 out of 10. So a bit less of a favorite than in picks by the Tapology community and all of the YouTube prediction channels. Do any of the best underdog predictors have some faith in the underdog Felipe dos Santos? Well, no, only 1 out of 10 has picked him to win. The last fight on the prelims is in the lightweight division between Herbert and Padilla. And this is the closest fight in average odds on this card. And basically minus 110 for both fighters. So a real pick'em fight. Although the odds makers have it even, it's not even in picks by the Tapology community and 66% of them have picked Padilla to win. And they predict he will mostly win via KO/TKO. And 34% are picking Herbert. We see the same results in picks by the YouTube prediction channels with 48 out of 76 picking Padilla to win for 63%. And Padilla is even a bigger favorite in picks by the best predictors over the last 9 months with 9 out of 12 for 75%. And we can kind of ignore the best favorite and underdog predictors because it's even in odds, but they have it 8 out of 10 and 7 out of 10 for Padilla. So, do the odds makers have it right, and is this a closer fight than what the Tapology and the YouTube predictors think? Guess we will find out this Saturday. The opener of the main card is in the featherweight division between Nathaniel Wood and Morgan Charrer. With minus 116 average odds, Morgan is the slight favorite, and with plus 130, Nathaniel Wood the underdog. Although he is the underdog, 63% of the Tapology community are predicting that Nathaniel Wood wins, and if he does, it will most likely be via decision. But the result is opposite by the YouTube prediction channels, and Morgan is the favorite with 54 out of 78 channels picking him to win for 69%. And he's even a bigger favorite by the best predictors over the last 9 months with 10 out of 13 for 77%. The best favorite predictors pick Morgan Charrer, the favorite 7 out of 10 times, and the best underdog predictors are picking the underdog Nathaniel Wood 4 out of 10 times. Then we go to the lightweight division for a fight between Jordan Vucenic and Duncan. Jordan Vucenic is the big favorite with minus 435 in average odds, and Duncan the underdog with plus 325. Vucenic is the big favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 82%, and most of them are predicting he will win this fight via submission or a decision. Jordan is a huge favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 72 out of 77 pick him to win for 93.5%, making him the biggest favorite in picks by YouTube prediction channels on this card. We see the same with the best predictors and the best favorite predictors. He's picked 12 out of 13 and 8 out of 10 times. And do any of the best underdog predictors have faith in Duncan? Well, he's only picked once out of 10, so not much faith in this underdog. Want the latest up-to-date picks and odds for all fights on this weekend's card while supporting the channel? Consider becoming a Patreon supporter or a Buy Me a Coffee member for exclusive updates. After this video, I keep tracking the latest picks and odds, updating them every Friday and Saturday with newly added picks from all UFC prediction channels, the best predictors and the most profitable favorites and underdog predictors. Updated odds. See how the betting lines move daily. Tapology stats. Find out if the MMA community is changing their picks. Support the channel and stay up to date. I'd really appreciate it. Links are in the description. Up next is a fight in the women's strawweight division between Molly McCann and Alexia Tainara. Alexia is the favorite with minus 195 in average odds, and with plus 160, Molly McCann the underdog. Alexia is also the favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 75%, and most are predicting she will win via decision. We see almost the exact same results in picks by the YouTube prediction channels with 54 out of 75 picking Alexia to win for 72%. And again, the same results with the best predictors and the best favorite predictors. They pick her 10 out of 13 and 7 out of 10. And of the best underdog predictors, only 2 out of 11 have picked Molly McCann the underdog to win. The next matchup is between Kevin Holland and Gunnar Nelson in the welterweight division. And again, we have a fight that's very close in average odds. And Nelson is the slight favorite with -128 and Holland the underdog with +104. In picks by the Tapology Community, Nelson is the favorite with 60% and most are predicting he will win via submission. And 40% have picked Kevin Holland to win, and if he does, that he will win via KO TKO. In picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, this fight is very close and Kevin Holland is the small favorite with 40 out of 77 channels picking him to win for 52% and 37 channels have picked Gunnar Nelson to win for 48%, making this the closest fight in picks by YouTube Prediction Channels on this card. When we look at the best prediction channels over the last 9 months, Kevin Holland is a slightly bigger favorite and 7 out of 12 are predicting he will win this fight. 6 out of 10 of the best favorite predictors are picking the favorite Nelson to win and 6 out of 9 of the best underdog predictors are picking Kevin Holland the underdog to win. Then, for the co-main event, we go to the light heavyweight division for a fight between Jan Blachowicz and Carlos Ulberg. And Carlos is the favorite with -295 in average odds and Blachowicz the underdog with +230. Although Carlos is a pretty big favorite in average odds, it's much closer in picks by the Tapology Community. Carlos is the favorite and 59% of the Tapology Community predict he will win and 41% for Jan. And most of them are predicting this fight will end in a decision or a KO TKO. The YouTube predictors are more in line with the odds makers and Carlos Ulberg is picked by 53 channels out of 77 for 69%. But he's even a bigger favorite by the best predictors with 11 out of 13 for 85%. When we look at the best favorite predictors, he's also the big favorite with 9 out of 10. And the underdog Jan Blachowicz is only picked 2 out of 11 times by the best underdog predictors. And then the main event of the evening is between Leon Edwards and Sean Brady in the welterweight division. Sean Brady is the favorite with -160 in average odds and with +135 Leon Edwards the underdog. In picks by the Tapology Community, it's a very close one. Edwards is the favorite with 54% and 46% for Brady, making this the closest fight in picks by the Tapology Community on this card. And most of them are expecting that this fight will go to a decision. And it's also close in picks by the YouTube prediction channels, but here Sean Brady is the small favorite with 41 out of 78 for 52.6% and 37 channels pick Leon Edwards to win. But when we look at the best predictors over the last 9 months, it's not close anymore and 10 out of 13 are picking Brady to win for 77%. And the best favorite predictors are picking Sean Brady 7 out of 10. And the underdog Leon Edwards is picked by the best underdog predictors 3 out of 11 times. What might be some good betting opportunities on this card? The first one is Nathan Fletcher. The odds are almost even, but he's a big favorite in picks by the best predictors with 9 out of 13 and the best favorite predictors with 8 out of 10. The second one is Chris Padilla. Although the fight is basically even in odds, Padilla is a big favorite in picks by the best predictors and the best favorite predictors with 9 out of 12 and 8 out of 10. And the last potential good betting opportunity is Kevin Holland. He is a small underdog with +104, but is the favorite in picks by the best predictors with 7 out of 12 and a pretty big favorite in picks by the best underdog predictors with 6 out of 9. Do you have any other good betting opportunities on this card? Let us know in the comments. Alright, that was it for this overview video. Hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. If you did, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and if you want to support the channel and get some extra perks, then consider becoming a supporter on Patreon or a member on Buy Me a Coffee. Hope you have a great rest of the week and enjoy the fights this weekend. I'll see you in the next one.